My name is Sunny Shaw. Today we're going to be going over our policy proposal, which is called CPAS or Clear Path and Status. This is going to be a much more simpler way to obtain naturalization, involving only international students that are looking to stay and work in the US after graduation. And so right now, there's a big problem with current international students looking towards the naturalization process, as that's only in regards towards the opt or H-1B programs. And for those, they are actually really complex and difficult in trying to obtain that naturalization for many of the international students who do actually want to stay in the US and provide their businesses and ideas. So I'll be breaking down the problems with opt and H-1B by first talking about opt. And opt is the optional practical training, and it's the most used method for the international students to be able to stay in the US for more time after graduation. And it's up to 12 months, and every 12 months you would have to renew. And so many students who are undergoing opt right now don't actually have naturalized citizen status, and which is a bigger problem, as students or international students that are under opt are going through many of these companies, and they have to go through many certain circumstances to be eligible to stay or apply for opt program, which is not an ideal situation for what we're trying to achieve, in which is that these international students wanting to stay and work in the US. And then the other, even more extremer version is the H-1B program, as the H-1B program is a special circumstances that many of these students have to be eligible to participate in. And so the H-1B program allows you to stay in the US more longer, which is approximately 2 years longer or 6 years longer, but you have to already be certified by your company, and you also have to be specialized in a certain STEM majors, so science, math, and engineering courses. And so it's kind of alienating all the other students, business majors or art students, liberal arts students that want to actually stay in the US and provide their businesses through sort of that way, but not getting a fair treatment towards the naturalization process. And so with our policy, CPAS, it would provide a clearer path for all international students wanting to actually stay in the United States after graduation.
All right, I'm Reid Orourke, and I'll be talking about some of the evidence for why we need to have like a better system for student visas in the U.S. The main thing that it comes down to is a lot of it is the financial contribution that international students have in the U.S. economy that I think a lot of people don't realize. For example, ABC News and CNBC have said that international exchange students can contribute up to $45 billion in the U.S. economy per year. That's just based on living fees, retail fees, tuition, and things like that, all of which are contributing to the U.S. economy. The past 4 years, between the years of 2008 and 2016, we actually saw up to a 400% increase in foreign exchange students, especially those working in STEM fields. But recently, we've seen a dramatic decrease actually in the amount of foreign exchange students in the United States. And, that's for a multitude of reasons. A lot of it is because international students, if they're doing classes that are online or if they're opting to do other kinds of things, they can't get F1 or M1 visas. And that's partially an issue with COVID, which is kind of a temporary thing. But another issue is we're seeing a lot of legislation done by the current president and a lot of things that are opening the opportunity for students who are not really pushing for subjects or stuff like that that they would want, where they will not be able to obtain those visas in order for them to stay in the United States. And beyond that, just within foreign news outlets and stuff, you're starting to see kind of this apathy that's starting to develop about kind of going into the US to do a foreign exchange study. And so a lot of the time you're seeing people that are wanting to opt to go to different countries like Canada, Germany, France, Italy, places in Europe. And so you're seeing this kind of problem where we're almost hitting this soft power crisis, where we're having an issue where we're just getting this massive declining rate of international students, which is going to be a really big problem for us because, not only do they account for a massive amount of money coming into the United States, 45 billion is not, a negligible amount of money for the United States. We're seeing a lot of people that, come into this country on student visas and things like that to study. And a lot of the time, you'll see people apply for permanent visas so that they can stay in the United States. And especially people coming in STEM categories and things like that, you're seeing a constant increase to the U.S. economy because of STEM positions especially, but also in other positions that are causing, the U.S. economy to bolster. And the thing is people don't realize how much foreign exchange students are people that are coming over here on work visas and things like that. And so we need this, because if we're not having those people that are coming in to bolster the U.S. economy and give us the technology and the education that we need, that could end up being a huge problem that's indicative of a bigger problem of America kind of isolating itself off from the rest of the world that can happen due to the amount of apathy that's starting to develop around U.S. foreign exchange students.